take a quick break to recognize one of our great sponsors that sponsor our car shows and YouTube channel. That's Wilbur's Restoration Parts. If you've got Tri-5, C10, or Camaro, check out Wilbur's. They got great people. They got great parts, a lot of parts in stock that you can get the same day. They offer shipping. Check them out for all your hot rod needs. Alright, back on the wagon, and today we're going to paint that floor pan. Now normally in the past we've used a product called 415, I think that's it, and then we've also used some Rust-Oleum brands, but today we're going to try something new. This right here is a Majic paint, and you've seen us use this before on the OGR, the 48. We painted it with that same brand, not the same paint. And we also did we've done a few other things with this brand of paint and their hardeners. The paint is a cheaper alternative to using 415, which would be the most expensive, and Rust-Oleum, which is kind of middle grade. This is a little cheaper than that, so we're going to give it a shot. On these floor pans, all we're doing is protecting the pan from rust on the top side. So if you have water get in, you developed a leak at the windshield or one of the windows and the water pooled up in the floor, this will buy you a little extra time before it would decay and start to rust. So this product's about, I think it was like $35 a gallon plus your hardener now, which I didn't have to buy a hardener because I already had some here from previous projects. But if you buy this, it's about 20-30 bucks a can. This hardener, this is expensive. This is actually as much as the paint in some cases. So what we're going to do is we're going to mix it up. We're going to put a little bit of the catalyst hardener in it. We're going to just use a variety of small rollers, different sized paint brushes to apply this. We're going to do everything: the floor pan, the side walls, the back compartment, the top rocker tops. We're just trying to get everything that we can possibly get. Now once this dries, then we'll be on to stage 2, which will be seam sealer. And I'm going to use a cheaper alternative to using your standard automotive grade seam sealer also. I don't know what that's going to be yet, but I am looking at several different cheaper options for that. And then after that, it'll be Dynamat, and then back with the seats and back on the road, hopefully. So let's get into this. We're going to get on here how we mix this, how much of this hardener we're going to put per cup that will go into our paint pan here. And it's worthwhile saying I got this paint pan kit. I got 2 rollers, the big roller, a small roller, one pretty good size 2-inch brush, 2 of these rollers, and 2 of these at Harbor Freight for about $12, $12.95, something like that. So, and this is a pretty good pan. It has a liner in it, and this is pretty sturdy, so it's worthwhile saying that's where I got that. So, and cleaning the pan, I cleaned it with basic, just run-of-the-mill dollar store cheap alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I didn't use paint thinner. I just used the alcohol, blowed it out, wiped it real good, got as much stuff up as I could. Of course, a lot of it we got up during grinding and sanding when we were putting the pan in. So let's get on this. Enough gabbing. Let's go. You can see this paint here is almost like a primer color. It's very light gray. The catalyst hardener will change that color just a little bit. We're going to mix it in just a standard cup here and then pour it right into our pan. This is what we'll use to mix our hardener in right here.
I can't get the lid off of it.
That right there'd probably be enough.
That's about 5 cc's.
5 cc's in this little
5
cup.
little milliliters.
Yep, 5 milliliters.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to make a mess.
Let's do it over this.
This is a little bit thinner than what I'd like it to be. And now for the hardener. Pretty thin. I would like it to be a little thicker than this, but we'll see how it does. That's a pretty good run of paint right there too. Quite a bit.
See how far it'll take us.
Yeah. Well, it being so thin, I hope it don't get into a two-coat situation.
How's it going?
It goes on good.
Well, here we are. We didn't show any of the elbow grease and muscle, but it's painted. We used brush and rollers. We brushed on the sides, rolled the flat. It rolled really good. Turned out really nice.
That paint didn't go on as thin as I thought it was when we mixed it. It looked thin when we mixed it.
Yeah, he said it was really thin, but when we got the painting with it, it was not as thin as we thought.
It covers good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is one coat. There was a couple of places we touched up, but it's basically one coat. Now to let it dry.
Alright. It's been about 3 days since we put this paint on. And she's still a little tacky here, there, and yonder. Oil-based paint does take a little longer to dry. And that's alright. But this looks real good. I'm actually a big fan now of this product, and we used this oil-based all-purpose enamel by Majic, and then we used the catalyst hardener. So yeah, pretty pleased with the way this turned out. So now that this is painted and for the most part dry, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the seam sealer. And basically, just the way seam sealer works, I'm just going to go around everywhere where I, welded it in, and just smear it over all the welds, and then that way it's a good moisture blocker. So that's what we're going to move on to now, and then after that, in the last part of this video, we will put the Killmat on. But wow, this really looks good. I'm really happy with the way that this paint went down. It did mix in and I was worried about it, but boy, it really looks good. Really covered everything nicely. So let me get the seam sealer out and let's get started with that. Alright, seam sealer going on. I'm just going around everywhere I welded, and if there's any small holes that I know of shouldn't be there, I'm filling those up too, and around these new cab mounts where we welded those in. And that's really all there is to this. It's a pretty easy deal right here. It don't take too terribly long, and you just want to kind of make sure you get everything though. That's the big thing. And we'll let this dry till the weekend before we put our Dynamat on, or Killmat. Just a very good clean look. That's for sure. Once you get this on and get it on right. But that's the main thing. You're not really looking for looks, because this stuff, it will never be seen. Once you put your Killmat on, or whatever kind of insulation that you use, that's the last time this will ever be seen, because your carpet will go on, or whatever you're running for a floorboard. My welds were pretty good in this car, so I'm not having to do a tremendous amount of this. We sealed everything up pretty good, and you can see that in the other videos when we were welding all this in. But still, you want that extra layer of protection, because after doing all this work, the last thing you want is water getting in somewhere and destroying what you've already done. We'll talk a little bit about what I'm using. You know, there is seam sealer, and it's called seam sealer. Now, I'll tell you, that stuff works. I use it on my Cadillac. But things have went up so doggone high, everybody's looking for a cheaper alternative. And I've been watching some forums and reading up on those. And a lot of these guys are just using an acrylic-based sealer. And that's what I'm using. This is supposed to have like a lifetime warranty on it and all that. But this is quite a bit cheaper, and this stuff is not cheap. I mean, it's $8 a tube, so you know, there's that. But it is cheaper than going the route with the actual sealer. And I mean, if it's, I read one on there, the guy had done his 55 with the same stuff, and he pulled his carpet up and had been on there for about 8 years, and he said everything still looked really good. So I mean, you know, we're going to try to save a little money right here, see how that works out for us. But these cars for us really are not out sitting in the weather. They stay inside in a garage, and that does mean, that means a lot right there. So I've got my sealer in now, and you can see looks good. Really pleased with that. We've got our new cab mounts there all sealed in. The back is all sealed up. So now, like I said, we'll just wait till the weekend, let this stuff dry down. We have our panel back here and a few little holes and stuff that was in there, all sealed in now. Pretty pleased with the way that this all looks and turned out. So yeah, we're gonna let this dry, and we will see you all in a couple of days when we start with the Killmat. So now the next step is Killmat, and you can see we have about 3 boxes, I guess, of Killmat here, and we have some thick and a little bit thinner for the roof, because we will do the roof, and whatever we have left we'll put on the insides of the doors. We want this thing to be kind of quiet when you're going down the road in it. You see I've got my digital thermometer out, because Killmat says that the temperature on the metal itself needs to be 60 degrees. And you can see that we have 64 degrees in the front, 65 in the rear section, and this back part 64, 65, depending on where you hit it. So we're ready. This stuff right here is pretty easy to do. There's nothing really special about it. You just peel the paper off, it sticks right down. You can see right here the backing, but you do need to use these little roller tools, and what that does is it just presses it in.
Right. You roll them to flatten this out. So like these little bubbles, you would roll it to flatten the sheet out to get all the little air bubbles out.
Basically just cut it with scissors and just stick it down. It really is that simple. So we're going to get on with this. We'll show you how we put ours down, and there's really no ticks or trips to putting this down. It's just really straightforward. You just peel and stick and roll. Peel, stick, roll, repeat. Peel, stick, roll, and repeat. Yep. So that's what we're doing. let's get this pan done so we can get this car back on the road. is in. That's going to do it for this video, which I don't know how long it's going to be. I mean, we did a lot of stuff from paint to seam seal to Dynamat. It's worth saying this stuff works great. And I recommend Killmat. I've used a couple of different brands, and a lot of people say Dynamat's the best, but I personally, for the money, the biggest bang for your buck is probably Killmat. And ain't none of this stuff kind of cheap anyway. As far as finishing up, you'll notice that I did not do under the seats. We're going to put the bench seat back in this car and drive it this year, and then next October we'll jump back on this car and pull it off its spring. Hopefully we get to that next year. But the bench seat is not going to be ran. We're going to go with the buckets. So I left that like that, so during the summer when I have a rainy day or we don't have a car show, I could have it in here. I could work on my seat frames for the buckets. So that's that. As far as the doors, passenger side front door, I got Killmat inside that door. The other three doors still have the original insulation. I'm weighing the options of trying to scrape that out of there and put something new in. We'll address that a little later on. But our main focus here was to get the roof line done and get the floor pan done, and we did that, and it looks really good. Like I said, I've used this product, Killmat, on several other cars, and this paint was a new one for us, but I'm pretty pleased with the paint.
Yeah.
I recommend it. I mean, it done great, covered beautifully. Dry time was a little crazy on it, but you know,
our weather was a little crazy.
Well, yeah, and I mean, but yeah, our weather here in Tennessee was a little crazy, so that could have had something to do with it. Very humid today, actually. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you see something in here you can learn from, and if you see something I could have done better, drop it in the comments. We will catch you guys next time. Keep up with our Facebook page, follow us there. A lot of information there. And yeah, I guess that's it for this one. Hey, like, share, and subscribe to the video. We'll catch you guys next time on This 55.